Hi, welcome back to Adobe Illustrator CC 2021, Class We're going to Book Chapter 8, Using Color to Enhance Artwork. This is Part 2. In Part 1, we went ahead and we changed some of the colors in this badge. Now we're going to go ahead and work with these skiers. Let's go back into our Adobe Illustrator. I'm going to go ahead and close my swatches and switch over to my artboard number 2, which is the snowboarder. And we're going to go ahead and use the color picker to create some colors here. So we're going to go with our selection tool and grab this green jacket. And then we want to double click the fill box at the bottom of the toolbar because that will let us open the color picker. And then we're going to go ahead and drag up and down the spectrum. You can see how the different colors change. It's that top color that will indicate what your color you're changing it to is. And we're going to go ahead and change it to a kind of a purple. It's all right. You can always change. We'll get the perfect color later, and you can go lighter and darker according to how you drag that position. So let's go ahead now and make it an exact color. So we want cyan is 50. I'm going to hit tab, magenta 90, tab, yellow 5, black 0. And let's go ahead and say OK. And we are going to go ahead and apply that color to the jacket. So we want to go ahead and save that color as a swatch so we can use it again. So let's go ahead and double click this over in the fill. And now let's click on the new. And it's going to ask us what do we want to call it. We want to call it purple. And we want to make sure that our global is set. And we are saying OK. So I'm going to go ahead and click out. So we deselect all and do a Control S and save. So now we want to use some of the swatch libraries. So some of the swatch libraries have quite a few different color palettes already created for you. Some are Pantone, some are TOYO, some are thematic. So they really depend on what we're doing. So when we're working with different types of color, I'm going to go ahead and try one with a Pantone color. So let's go to Window. And let's come down here to Swatch Library. You have to go all the way to the very bottom. And in Swatch Libraries, we're going to go ahead and grab the one that says Pantone Solid Coated. So Pantone is currently hiding from me. Oh, Color Books. It's under Color Books, that's why. Color Books, and then Pantone Solid Coated. All right. It's going to open up quite a few different things. Let's go ahead and in our numbers, let's put our search 7562, and that's going to go ahead and open up this kind of brown for me. So let's go ahead and click that swatch, and it will go ahead and add it to our swatches library. Now let's go ahead and close out our search right here. It's going to open everything else back up, and we can close that panel. Let's go ahead now with our selection tool and grab that dark gray kind of line here in the middle of the helmet. Let's go to our fill box where it's kind of gray. And now let's grab that spot color. So we know it's that spot color. It's got a little tiny spot and it's that brown. And so it's how we apply a Pantone color. So the Pantone colors come in really handy when we're trying to make sure that no matter where we print something, we get the same color of brown everywhere. So let's go ahead and change a tint. A tint is a larger or is a lighter tint of a color. So let's go ahead with that selection tool and click on the lighter gray. And let's go ahead and we want to shift click? No. We want to go ahead and grab the mask. Yeah, let's unselect. Here we go. There we go. Now let's grab the fill over in the properties. And let's select that Pantone swatch. So we're going to make it brown. That's okay. We're about to fix it. We're going to click that color mixer up here at the top. And let's go ahead and take that tint down to 60%. You can either slide it or you can do, you can go here, you can slide it, you can put the numbers in and hit enter. And you're going to get a much lighter color. So now we've got our two colors. One is basically a tint of the other one. Let's go back into our fill. Let's go into our swatches, and let's do a new swatch here at the bottom. And our new swatch now will be that Pantone. It'll show 60%, which is totally what we want. So let's select and deselect. and Control S and save. So now we're going to go ahead and convert some colors. So sometimes when we're working, we have different types of artwork that come in different types of color modes, and we need them to all be the same. So let's go ahead and do our select. We want all on active artboard, so we're going to convert everything. We want to do edit. We want to do edit colors, about the middle, and we want to convert to CMYK. And that's going to go ahead and change all of those Pantone spot colors over to CMYK. So let's go ahead and deselect everything. And let's go ahead now and copy some appearance attributes. So sometimes we want something to be copied from one place to another. So let's do View, Fit All in Window. So we can see everything. Now we're going to use our selection tool. And we want to shift click the two light gray on this side on artboard number 3. So I've got the first one. I'm going to hit shift. I'm going to grab the second one. Now we want to go ahead and grab the eyedropper tool over on the toolbar on the left. It's about half-ish the way down. We're going to grab that eyedropper tool, and we're going to click the shape that we applied the tint to, so kind of that light gray. And notice how anything we had selected is automatically going to pick up those colors. So I could make it black, I could make it, it makes it very easy to change those elements. So let's go ahead and make it the light gray. And let's now go ahead, grab our select and deselect, and Control S and save. So we're cruising right along. Next thing we're going to do is create a color group. Sometimes we want to create our own groups, make them easier to find. So let's go to our window and swatches. And then let's come down to our swatches panel. You'll see we've got all these new colors that we've made. So we've got the one that starts with light orange. I'm going to go ahead and hit shift and go all the way to my one that says Pantone. We're going to create a new group out of that. So we're going to go the new color group button, which is the file folder here at the bottom. And our new color group is going to be called snowboarding. And we're going to go ahead and say OK. So now you can see I've easily got this other group, so I can move things back and forth. I can decide, okay, maybe I don't want a color in here. I'm going to take this Pantone out. Click, and you can click just one color in and drag them back and forth. It's pretty easy to change your folders that way. All right, so now let's go ahead and use the color guide for some kind of creative inspiration. Let's do escape and close our swatches, or just close our swatches out. So let's go ahead and go to our artboard number 3. And let's go ahead with our selection tool and grab that green shape on the side of the goggles, so kind of the band. And maybe the strap kind of. Let's go to window. Let's come down to color guide. It's about a third of the way down. And in the color guide panel, it's going to give us quite a few different ways to look at color. So right now our base color is set to what we had selected, so kind of that sea foamy green. So now we're going to go ahead and experiment using some of the harmony rules. So if we look at the drop-down menu right over here, you can see we've got quite a few different options. We're going to go ahead and grab the right complement from harmony rules. So right complement. And you're going to see we're going to get different types of choices. The base color you set is still green, is what's creating those color options. So don't choose a color just yet. Let's go ahead and what are we supposed to be doing? We're going to save this color group. So let's go ahead and go to the bottom of here and save color group. And now when we go into our window and our swatches, we can see now that we've got that new color group here at the bottom. So that's kind of cool. And let's go ahead and close our swatches. Now let's go ahead and apply some of those colors. So let's go ahead and click on that purple jacket shape with our selection tool. And let's apply the color of the green. So let's go ahead and go to, oh, where'd our green go? All right, so there's our green. Let's go ahead now and go to that and apply it down. Let's grab our fill. I don't like that color. Let's try something else. Let's go ahead, click the purple jacket shape, click the green color in the color guide panel to apply it. I don't have my thing selected. Okay. All right, so I want to go ahead and grab that color green, my base, color this, and apply it there. There we go. Now it's green. So let's go ahead and grab this and make it just a slightly lighter green. So I'm totally up to you as to what colors you're going to choose. It's kind of an awful green, isn't it? Let's make it a little bit darker. Let's make it a darker green. And this one, maybe more green. All right, that's not terrible. All right, we're going to go ahead and close that color guide and do a Control S and save. And I will pick you up on part 3.